If you've been here before, you know that it is game day today, but not for me. Jordan is competing tomorrow morning. Lifting starts at 9 a.m. and we just arrived at the hotel. It is approximately 9:30-ish at night. We did make a pit stop at Wegmans because I needed some almond milk for a protein shake. Just because we're traveling does not mean that we're not hitting the macros. If you're new here, I'm Gia. I'm a first-time homeowner, a wannabe DIYer, and a competitive powerlifter. Tomorrow, however, I will be a grade A handler. This might be a good opportunity to explain what that means. When you compete in powerlifting on the day of, there is so much going on around you. You should not have to focus on any of that. So you bring someone with you known as your handler. Your handler doesn't always have to be your coach. I don't coach Jordan, but we do have the same coach. So I'm familiar with the coach's expectations. And also we both compete. So I'm familiar with a meet flow and how the day works. For a first time powerlifting meet, you probably want to find a handler who is a veteran lifter so that they do know how a meet flows, how to get you through check-in, get your rack heights, check your equipment, and when you have to be warming up for everything. But for us, I mean, he could do it alone, but why would you when I'm already here? My job tomorrow is getting him to the venue on time, through check-ins, at weigh-ins, and after weigh-ins, he gets to clock out. So he's going to focus on eating when I tell him to eat, drinking when I tell him to drink, lifting when I tell him to lift. He's going to pick up what I put on the bar, and that's it. Jordan doesn't like to necessarily know what he's lifting to. So in terms of his attempts, he's gone over it with his coach, and we do have a spreadsheet that kind of lays out what the expectations are. But when it comes to actual decisions, he's going to give me a yes or no on how that lift felt, if it was good, if it was bad. And I've been training with him for years at this point. So I'll be able to watch his lift and know what he still has in the tank. And based on that, I'm going to come up with what his next attempt is by basically just looking at that little matrix that our coach gave us and loading it. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's rewind. I'm going to walk you through what a meet day looks like. Ideally, when we get in tomorrow, we're going to hit the check-in table. I know for this venue, the check-in table and athlete check-in is different because the check-in table is also offering coaching passes and spectator passes. So for us, he's going to check in, give his USAPL registration number, yada, yada, yada. And I'm going to have to purchase a coach's pass so that I can have a wristband to be back in the warm-up room because they do separate the athletes from the rest of the crowd when they're not on the platform. Once we get through check-in, we walk over to athlete registration where he checks in and says, "Hi, I'm here to lift." They're going to give him his t-shirt and his meal voucher probably, and whatever, if there's any swag for the meet or anything that he needs, probably a wristband or a lanyard to show that he is an athlete. And then we're going to head over to equipment check. Depending on your federation, there's certain equipment that you can and cannot bring in. We both lift with USAPL, which means our belt, our singlet, our knee sleeves, your comp t-shirt, your deadlift socks, your shoes, all of that has to be put on a table and approved in advance. For a local meet like this, it's pretty easy. He's going to walk in. They're going to say, "Do you have a singlet?" He's going to say yes and put it on the table. "Do you have shoes?" He's going to pull out his shoes. They're going to look at him and say, "Any more?" Because you might change shoes for events. He's going to say, "Nope, I lift in the same pair the whole time." They're going to say knee sleeves. He's going to put his knee sleeves up, his deadlift socks, his normal socks, and his under singlet t-shirt. And they're going to say, "Great." And then you panic to shove it all back in your bag because it was nice and organized. And now you're nervous because there's like a line behind you and you walk away. Once equipment check is done, we're going to go over to rack heights. Getting your rack height at every meet is pretty important because equipment varies from vendor to vendor, from venue to venue. In general, you're going to use the same equipment on the platform that you use for your rack heights. So rack heights is how high you want the bar when you squat, whether you want the pegs in, upright, how high you want the bar when you bench, and how high you want the safeties or the face savers when you bend. Remember, we don't have safeties on squat when you're squatting in a combo rack. You do have spotters instead. You'll have 2 side spotters and 1 back spotter, so you don't really need the equipment safety. On the bench, you do have the face savers in place and 2 side spotters as well as a back spotter if you want to lift off. So we'll jot down his rack heights, and then he will most likely take an athlete card that we've been given with those rack heights on it and wander over to weigh-ins. If he doesn't have the card with him yet, then he'll go over to weigh-ins and they'll have it there. But either way, eventually he will fill out an athlete card. So at weigh-ins, he's going to weigh in line, hopefully for not too long, and he is going to strip. You're allowed to weigh in as many or as little clothes as you'd like. In general, people are usually in a pair of shorts or like undergarments to weigh in because you want it to be as close to your natural weight as possible. As a female, I, up until very recently, always had a pair of shorts and a sports bra on. Now, I'm not going to lie, we let a little bit more hang out in the weigh-in tent, but personal decisions. When he weighs in, he's also going to give the referee that's conducting his weigh-in his opening attempts in kilos. You want to give them in kilos. I can't stress it enough. Even if you train on pound plates in the gym, you will always compete at a USAPL sanctioned meet in kilos. So if you show up and you say, I'm opening at 200, they're going to load 200 kilos, not 200 pounds, which is over double that. So give your openers in kilos, and once those are in, those are in. There are some rules about when you can and cannot change an opening attempt, but in general, especially at a local level meet where everybody's just kind of there, it's not overly competitive, you're probably not going to change them once they're in there. After he weighs in, he's going to eat. There are definitely lifters that eat the night before, that eat the morning of, but there are more lifters that will fast in order to get their weight as low as possible so they can either make weight, that's me, I'm in that camp, or try and optimize their DOT score. Intra-meet refeeds can be a whole video unto itself, and I'm not really a nutrition gal, so I'm probably not the one to make that video. But from a personal perspective, we like to bring cereal with us and a protein shake. We like Pop-Tarts, we like gummies and candy, and we always bring an energy drink because who doesn't love a little caffeine? We also have an intra-workout stack that we use during our normal workouts. So it's Gatorade powder, EAAs, creatine, and a little bit of salt. So he does have that packed as well. He has 2 servings of that, so he can sip on it for squats and bench, and then bench and deadlift. He'll kind of make the switch over at some point, probably after bench, he'll open that last one, and that last one will probably just get him through deadlifts. Either way, the amount of time that you have before you start lifting can vary. Weigh-ins will open 2 hours before lifting commences, but the number of flights in the session can impact when you lift. So in Jordan's case, he is flight B, which means flight A is going to lift first. We'll use flight A to gauge when we start our warm-up, but until we start our warm-up, he's just chilling. He's going to be sitting down, he's going to be drinking water, he's going to be eating food. During that time, I'll also be pretty much just chilling, so I'll probably eat my breakfast at that time as well, because like I said, we're still hitting our macros. We have his warm-ups and his jumps already planned out. There's a note on my phone, and we're just going to stick to that. He'll do his dynamic warm-ups and any stretching that he needs to do. And probably around the top of the second attempt squats for flight A, we'll start warming up, and we will gauge it from there. Now, that could change depending on how fast or slow they go, and they'll probably speed up as the meet gets going and everybody gets in the swing of things. But we'll use that as kind of our mile marker, and that's when we'll start our barbell warm-ups for squat. And yeah, between events, I mean, the cycle pretty much just repeats. You squat, you do your first, we're going to hang out back behind the platform. We'll do our second, we're going to hang out behind the platform, we'll do our third, and then we meander back to the warm-up room. For a local meet, you might not have a separate room, you might just have kind of a curtain divider, but there will be a distinct section for athletes to warm up and for athletes to hang out in when the other flight is going. Like I touched on a little bit earlier, when he is lifting, he'll hit his attempt, we'll have a little exchange real quick, yes, no, that was good, that was bad, and then I will go over to the judges table and put in his next attempt based on the matrix that we got from his coach. And what that looks like is rushing over to a little table because you have 60 seconds after a lift to get your next attempt in, or else they're just going to bump you by 2.5 kilos. So if you don't have a handler, you have to focus on lifting, get done with your lift, try and think about what you want to do next, get to the table and put that in, and then get back behind the curtain so that you can start mentally getting ready for your next lift. This is going to be a pretty exciting meet for him. I'm really excited to see what he does, and we are going to build a crazy total. It's been a little over a year, I think maybe like 1.5 years since Jordan last competed, and the growth in that time has been insane. I feel like that's his MO. I don't know how he does it because I like to compete a couple times a year, but he competes like once a year to like once every 18 months. And it's just crazy to see the changes. Like last time he competed, it was the same venue. It was the same meet director. So we know that we like how these are run, but he showed up and I think like doubled his previous total or something crazy like that. Like it was out of control. And that's basically what it's going to be this time too. I am so stoked, but he's in the bathroom and I think he can hear me. So we'll talk about that later. In the meantime, a little hotel tour. I've never been in a hotel that didn't have carpet. This is kind of nice. Maybe I just stay in crappy hotels. But truthfully, moving forward, I really think that I will stay in a DoubleTree. I think that's where we're at right now. Yeah, I think we're in a DoubleTree, and I think that that's going to happen a lot more often. And there's cookies at the front desk, but I'm not going to have a cookie because I don't need a cookie. I need a protein shake. It's almost 10 p.m. and we are going to have a little bit of an early morning. So we're going to call it here for tonight, and I will see you tomorrow for game day.
We're on the way to do the thing.
Yeah! There you go, don't stop! Yeah! There you go, don't stop! Go! 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 Keep going! Yes! Yes! How do you feel?
Ah!
There you go. Nice.
Come on, Jordan.
Come on. Yes. Get set. Come on. Go. Come on. Go. How'd bench go?
All right. All right.
Oh my God, it's bright. Taking a little sunshine break, getting some photons and also
Flowers.
yeah, we're flowers.
Flowers.
Little sunshine break, little noise break. It's quieter out here. Oh my God, it's bright. And then we go into the deadlift. Down. There you go. Yeah, come on, come on.
All those milestone numbers. 501.
Come on, don't stop.
There is no bar. Don't let it get in your head. Just go grab it. Pull it. Go get it.
Come on, Jordan, let's go.
Go get it. Pull it. Come on, son.
Pull, come on.
Today.
Little post-meet debrief. Jordan's got some chili dogs.
Something like that.
Yeah, some chili
I don't know.
dogs. How'd you do?
7 for 9 with a 47.5 kilo PR. So,
How do you feel?
feeling a little beat up.
Yeah, you're not gonna
Definitely a little beat
go.
up.
You're gonna go bench 315 at the
Oh,
next gym?
absolutely. I'm still gonna do that, but
Little snack break. I have meal prep. He has hot dogs, and then we are going to head over to another gym in the area, Kenmore Barbell, and it's my turn.
Lee.
Plastic off the quick bench. This is fucking plastic right over the head.
All right, that's enough of that. It's been 2 weeks since Jordan competed, and I am just getting around to editing all of this content. I've been meaning to make a little send-off, sign-off, and I finally am doing that right now, clearly. But my microphone is in Jordan's gym bag, and he is at work, and I am working from home if my computer will cooperate. So we're having the time of our lives out here on this fine Wednesday. There's definitely a ton more that I could say about meet day, about Jordan's performance, yada, 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 but instead I'm going to leave it open-ended. What questions do you have about competing in a meet? Do you even have any? If you do, let me know in the comments below. And if you don't, but you're interested in seeing the lead up to a meet, aka powerlifting prep, then go ahead and subscribe, hit the notification bell, whatever you want to do, because that is the journey that we are embarking on. This is officially week 2 of prep for USAPL Raw Nats. This will be my first Nats. I've been aiming for it for like 3 years, so this is a big one, and I'm sure we'll have plenty of time to talk about that. If you made it this far, thanks for hanging out. I'm Gia. I'm a plus-size powerlifter, a first-time homeowner, and a wannabe DIYer. If that's your jam, let's hang out next time.